I'm Ella Tuason. I am Filipino, but in the Philippines we call ourselves Filipina when it's so Filipino-Filipina. And I have one older sister. My mother has died 3 years ago, so it's very recent. And then I am from the outskirts of Manila, just after Manila, not in Manila, but outskirts. And I finished a degree in industrial engineering. I worked already for 5 years before, and then now I am 28 years old, soon 29. Now I live in France, in Haute Abbey, in Savoy, with the Cheminov community. And I'm engaged in celibacy. I engaged last year, and then I'm here in the Abbey for the spiritual formation of youth who want to take time off from their studies or work to do some biblical studies or to experience community life with the community. So that's it's my service in the Abbey. Earliest memory. So I think I was five years old, I don't know, but it's in the first floor of our house while I was praying and I was looking at this picture of Jesus. I'm just praying because as a child I grew up in a very Catholic family. It means that we go to Mass every Sunday, and my parents they help in the parish works also in my town. And so I don't know, one day I decided to pray in front of Jesus, the picture. And I think I don't know if I imagined it or what, but it's like he became real, a real person in front of me. And I was very scared, so I ran away. But I asked my parents if it's really God or not, and they told me it's not possible because so I kind of I was kind of disappointed because, but I'm not sure what that means. So that's it. I think that was my first encounter, and then I sort of pushed it away, put it in the cabinet because it's not real. And then just 3 years ago, I had this revelation that it was really an experience with God, with Jesus. So it helped me in my discernment of my vocation. So
tell me about this experience 3 years ago.
It was in World Youth Day in Germany. It was one week of retreat in Altenberg in Germany. So it was based mainly on my childhood experience, why I refuse to believe that God speaks to me, that it's possible that He loves me. So it started there, that it's possible that I am loved by God. And so the retreat, it was centered on my difficulty of believing, of faith, believing, having faith. So during the retreat, the Lord has given me the grace to see that it's not true, that I am not worthy of His love, so He doesn't love me. He loves me He loves who I am entirely. And so it brought me back to this experience when I was 5. It brought me back to it's the point where I started to doubt. I started to doubt the love of God for me. So it was emotional for me, because when He made me realize that it was Him and it was true, I was happy. I was peaceful, and to know that He loves me just like that. And even though I refused to believe in Him, that He speaks to me, that He loves me, He's there. He reminds me always, and He never let me go. So it's like I had an experience with Him when I was 5, and then I lived my life like He's way up there and me here, and He doesn't care. He doesn't see me. And then after so many years, He decided to have me come back to this memory that helped me accept that I am loved fully. In fact, I was in a retreat after the World Youth Day. So it's the grace. I cannot really put it into words, but it's like, if I may describe it, it's like opening a door. It's like He opened a door that I don't want to open, because I know what's behind the door. I know that He's there. I know that He loves me, but I refuse to open the door because I fear that He might call me into religious life, or He might or He might take away the things that, or the religious life, the vows, and that. So I was afraid to open the door, but I know deep in my heart that I have to open, but I don't want to open. So it was Him who, it's like He pushed the door so that I can, it's like when He pushed the door, it's like He encouraged me to open the door, because I'm fearful. So He pushed the door, and then finally I decided to open the door and to accept His love. It's like getting into the light of His love it's like that, passing through the door. So after I returned to the Philippines, and I decided to come here to do this formation for 1 year, to stop my work, to leave everything. It didn't make any sense before I went into the plane. It didn't make any sense. Why do I have to leave my country? Why do I have to leave my life, my work, and everything? Practically all of my life I live to come in a country where I don't even speak the language. And to do what? To do formation, spiritual formation, to do community life. And it's funny, because in the Philippines, when we talk about this spiritual formation, when we are interested in taking spiritual formation, it's like stereotyped. Say she's gonna be a religious. But for me, I'm sure that I'm called to be here for 1 year, but I don't know for what. But it's sure for discernment of my vocation. So I I left the Philippines and came here, and I studied language here. And here I do the cleaning, housekeeping of the abbey. In the Philippines, I don't do that. Here I do the housekeeping. I don't understand anything because I don't speak French when I came here. But deep inside of me, I'm at peace. It was very difficult, but I know that God has called me to be in this place. I don't know what His reasons are, but He always reminds me that He called me to be here, to do the formation. And so when He gave me the grace also to learn French as easily, I spoke, after 1 month, I'm able to speak French. And then I wasn't able to do the formation first because the courses are in French. So I stayed to do the housekeeping and to learn French. And then after 4 months of staying here, I did the 30 days of silence, the retreat of 30 days in silence. So it is there that I discerned the call of God for me to be a religious sister. And it's there also that I was called. It's kind of strange because that in my head, when I become a religious sister, it means that I should be very reserved, and that's not me. I am not at all reserved. And then, just like 3 years ago, for the 1-week retreat, He told me that He loves me for who I am, and He calls me to be a religious sister for who I am and not for what I can become. And then it's a very good experience, very nice retreat, because I received also the call to love more. And then I asked Him, but how can I love more when I'm a religious sister? And then He told me that He will show me. He will show me how. And all I did was to have faith, to believe that He called me, and even if I don't make sense out of it, it's His call. It's His call, and He is very faithful. Even if sometimes I doubt, even if I doubt my call, He catches me. He reminds me all the time. And I think that I really believe that having this peace in my heart for His call, because I really feel that His call is my strength, and that it gives me enough force or strength to make it through any difficult times that I have. Because even if I'm here already 2 years and I'm engaged already, I'm a religious sister already, it doesn't mean that my life is perfect. It's not like that. It doesn't mean that my life is perfect, but it's like my life has a sense because of Him, because of my vocation. It's really funny how it works, because when I made my election to become a religious sister, it's like I'm liberated. It's like I don't know. It's like somebody inside of me has been liberated. And then it was in silence, but I cannot shout. It was in silence, but I cannot shout. But I'm so happy of this liberation that I felt. never have I felt such happiness before. And then at the same time, I've been liberated, but then I have to obey also. So it's if we look at it in a very intelligent way, it doesn't work. If I am free, I don't have to be bound by rules. If I think in my manner before, if I'm free, I don't have to obey anything. I don't have to have rules. But this time, it's the thing about faith. It's like we don't really understand the things that's happening. We don't really give we can't forcefully give an explanation to what's happening. But inside, in my heart, it's that. It's faith. And my call to love others, I received that last year. And then now I'm in the service of the formation. And now I understand how it is to love others. It's loving, it's not just romantic love. It's not just love for the opposite sex, but it's the bounty. It's giving myself to others out of love.
First time in your life where you chose to, or where you had to completely rely upon God?
It's hard. I think that was before the World Youth Day in Germany, because I applied for a visa and it was refused. So deep inside of me, I know that I have to be in the World Youth Day in Germany, but why didn't God give me the visa? And I always have this struggle, because when I cannot understand in my head, if I cannot understand, I cannot believe. So if I cannot prove it, I cannot believe. But this time, when the German embassy has refused my visa, in my head, I cannot anymore have the chance to go, because when they refused, they refused. But I really cried in front of God and in front of Mary, because I told them that it's hard for me to believe that I can still have that I still have a chance. It's hard for me, you know what's in my heart, you know what's in my mind. It's hard for me, and I don't want to have this. I don't want to have another anxiety over this visa. And then I cried in front of him. It's like I bared everything, that I don't believe that it's gonna happen, but it's up to you. If you're really calling me to be there, do something. And I told him, I don't have enough faith to believe that you will give me. So I think that was my first profession of faith, really without any reflection inside my head. And then I had the visa. I had the visa, and when I look back at it, I think the Lord is just, for personally, He wants me to learn how to trust Him, to believe in Him, and not to rely too much on my intelligence, if I have any. So I think it was really the first time because I experienced it during the retreat after the World Youth Day. But the first time it was that it's like because I have a hard time saying that I'm weak or I'm a sinner. But it's the first time for the visa. I told him I don't believe I don't believe yet. I don't know. I don't have faith. But I ask you to give me this visa because you it's like I debated with him. You called me to be in Germany, but now you don't give me a visa. What do you want? And then I even said to Mary, look at your son, he called me, and then he didn't give me the visa. But in fact, it was a passage for me, and it was more important. It's the most important thing. It's that I bared everything for the first time in front of him. My lack of faith, my lack of confidence, my Miss Know-It-All, Miss Know-It-All syndrome, and so that was it.
So was it a demonstration of faith or a
I think
struggle
yes,
with
I
faith?
believe that it was a demonstration of faith because I bared everything, and I'm not the kind of person who bears everything, who tells everything like that. So yes, it's my first little step towards my faith, and then it was during the retreat.
So what, you had been refused for a visa, but then a visa came through anyway?
Yes, because it was because I applied again, but it so happened that there are the people who sent the embassy the letters for me, the community. It's a community, and then I was like, oh, okay. So it's my first step towards my faith, really.